If you're talking sports, it's the matchup. Mickey here with Zizzy, yo, we cutting it up. Just a couple athletic enthusiasts. You know what it is, the Mickey Zizzy podcast. Episode 3, Season 3 of the Mickey Zizzy podcast. Bigger and better, brought to you by, well, I mean, you guys all know what we're brought to you by. You know the drill. We're talking Pinnacle Supplementation. Make sure you reach your pinnacle. Check out pinnaclesup.com for all of your supplementation and wellness needs. Also, I'd be crazy not to shout out our sponsor and supporter of the podcast, Grant Anderson, the OBL extraordinaire, and his YouTube channel, G4 3, providing some great insight on what it takes to be a true baller. Now, I'm Zizzy. Y'all know it, but I wouldn't be me without Mickey. So, what's up, big guy?
It's been a roller coaster over here as a fan of the Boston Celtics and a fan of the basketball world. So many positive takeaway from it, but we will get to that here. I mean, that's what the episode title is, but the morale is high. We're moving and grooving. Summer's been going well. I really can't complain. Definitely working on my golf game a little bit, but I'm going to make the LIV tournament, the live tournament. I'm kidding. But we're rocking and rolling. Happy to get the episode 3 started.
Absolutely. It's a long time in the making, but we're here and we're going to talk about some stuff crazy. I mean, let's get into it. I mean, we got to get our person of the week first and foremost. So before I jump the gun, I was about to catch myself there. You see that? But person of the week, Mickey Hines, who you got? We in week 3.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go with a close friend. I'm pretty sure he's been a person of the week before, but it was his wedding day. Bryce Cox had his wedding to Amanda, and their wedding was absolutely gorgeous. I got to go with Haley and a bunch of other high school friends. So it was great to kind of kick back, relax, reminisce of the old elementary, high school days, and just really celebrate him and his life and the relationship they've had for the past 4 years. So shout out Bryce and Amanda on a wonderful wedding. They're going to have such a gorgeous family, and the wedding was absolutely beautiful. Me and Haley taking tips, you already know, but it was awesome. So definitely person of the week has to go to the new married man, Bryce Cox.
Absolutely, man. It's always love here on the podcast. But when we really celebrate and love, and you said 4 years? 4 years?
Yeah, I've been engaged for 2, the whole COVID thing, not crazy.
Yeah. I mean, people want to slow it down and definitely see everything that we got to offer. Make the whole experience exactly what you want it to be. Weddings are amazing. Love is amazing. And just the fact that it's your good friend that's been able, I mean, I know Bryce has been on the podcast as a person of the week before, but we've had a few multiple winners. It is what it is. I love that though. Happy for them. Glad you got to go. I mean, I will say the pictures, y'all look like you were having a good time. The shirts were wrinkled, the ties were loose. The drinks were coming. It was a great time. So that looks awesome, man. I'm glad you got to go. But on my end of things, person of the week goes to Hank Gentili, otherwise known as Jeffrey or G-Off, whatever you guys want to prefer. He's going to be one of my new roommates, actually. I'm coming to you guys live from my brand new home in Deltona, Florida. So we love that. It's been a process over the last, honestly, 10 days or so, getting everything over here. But one of my new roommates is coming down from Tallahassee. And I just hadn't seen him in forever. He was like a childhood friend of mine growing up. And he brought all of his stuff down on Saturday. His parents came with him, and it was just like I hadn't seen them in so long. It was just good to rekindle that friendship and just hash out those conversations, reminisce on old memories and stuff. So just really good time and really excited for him to get down here this coming weekend. So shout out to Hank and looking forward to it, man.
Oh yeah, the new homeowner. Now we'll get back on track. I know you've been there in the whole moving process. That's why we had to move this episode a little bit back. So moving, that's a good excuse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, but come on.
Oh, you got to make, the Wi-Fi man do getting that stuff set up. It actually sucks. Straight up.
I don't know what it was. I feel like they did some stuff when they got here and first moved in, because the internet cable, the coax cable was cut. The water pressure, half the utilities weren't on. So I was living kind of rough for a few days. I was showering at the gym and showering at the office for a week. It was weird, but at the same time, it's all good. We got it all figured out. It'll be set up and we're good, man. We just gotta buy furniture and cool stuff.
Oh yeah, you set. Now, awesome person of the week. Shout out to your new roomie, Hank,
Yeah.
right? Or Jeff?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yeah, so his first name is actually Jeffrey, but yeah, he goes by Hank.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hank, the Jeff man. Hopefully I'll meet him one day. Super cool, super excited for that. But Yank, we gotta talk the bigger news, the NBA finals. Yank, I'm just gonna rip off the band-aid.
Should I play it now? Yeah, should I play the violin now?
Oh, the violin. Yank. I mean, I'm not going to go too much on my tangent here just yet, but man, we had so many positives. Yet losing at the big dance always hurts. It's one of those things like, do you want to lose at the championship or do you want to lose in the first round and don't get your hopes up type of thing? That's a debate that can go on and on. But we were 2 wins away and I was in defeat. My arms were over my head. And, Haley said, let me go buy you the Eastern Conference championship gear because that banner's going to fly forever.
Hey, it is. It is.
Hey,
and
that NBA Finals
shirt
is
nice,
clean.
Though. That shirt is nice, though.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's why I waited to get the new gear. I'm glad I could rep it here on the podcast. But overall, man, it sucks. But that is, with me being so upset with my arms over my head, I am so sad. That's the joy of sports. Bonding together with people, with other fans. I was texting other friends, Trevor Trendy and Troy Daniels, talking to them like, hey, seize up. We got to get this W tonight. Just bonding over a team,
4-league Clover, baby.
Over the Celtics. And that's the whole joy of sports. And sometimes you're on the opposite end. Sometimes you don't go win the ship. And you just got to, enjoy the ride, enjoy the process. And that's why I love sports so much. We do have so much promise because we had the hardest run of the championship and we lost to the 6 out of 8 years. That team been to the NBA Finals. They got championship pedigree. I mean, 4 of the last 6 they went to, they've won. So, I mean, we lost to a legendary team, legendary players. And then, I'm going to let you chime in before I start talking about the squad and what we got to do to repeat the success we had this year.
First and foremost, I called it. We were talking about what a run by both teams. Like, let's give it up for both teams. The Warriors to be completely relevant, basically the last 2 years. And I mean, I know they have Steph Curry. They're never really out of the game with that, but Draymond's been in and out of activity the last couple seasons. Clay obviously has been out with the injuries. They had the young core. They made the trades, whatever else, but they're a young group outside of that 3-man core. And for them to show up, Clay, for him to come back after 2 years, for them to make it to a 6 finals in the last 8 years, to win a 4th out of 6. I mean, what else is there really to say? They're a dynasty team. They're fantastic, and I mean, they just have the most experience out of probably any team right now. They know exactly what it takes to win, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with going into next season. But I don't even think that's really the story. I think the story is with your Celtics. I really do. We talked about, and I wasn't sure if I was going to let you run with it, but the hardest run in championship history. If they had won, yes. I mean, we could be sitting here talking about that. Like, I can't sit there and deny that. I can't doubt it. That would be a conversation to be had. They're very young. I mean, Jason Tatum's 24. Jaylen Brown, young. Jaylen Brown, even younger, I think.
Around the same age.
Or the same age, whatever else. But I mean,
yeah, he's 25.
Peyton Pritchard, Robert Williams. I mean, you guys got young talent that is very, very, very good and very effective, and you guys are going to be a force to be reckoned with. But now comes the off-season fun. We get to talk to your team because now it's going to be about, okay, we've seen it. We know what you can do. But you know how Boston is, especially being in Boston. Boston's a what have you done for me lately town. So it's going to be
the finals.
I know you just no, I'm just saying you just went to the finals. I'm saying now if you don't reach the finals, Boston's the type of town that they start asking questions. What's wrong? Or what do we have to do to get over this hump? What's our time frame? How long we got? And I only say that just because, I mean, this core for the Celtics has made 2 legitimate final runs. I mean, they lost the Eastern Conference Finals in 2018 or something. And then but they made it to the ECF, and that was Jason Tatum's rookie or second year. Yeah, and for them to make it to the finals then, or the Eastern Conference Finals then, to make it to the finals now, it shows they have what it takes. Brad Stevens, credit to him making the moves that he did and bringing a team together, knowing that he needed to take a step away because his voice was going stale, but he knew mentally what it is that the team needed to succeed. So I mean, a lot of right moves, great team. It's just heartbreak when it comes to that, man. Like as
Oh, it's
not even a
complete
fan, but like
heartbreak.
I can, yeah, because I mean, no one's going to guarantee that that happens again next year, especially with the new developments that are already happening. So
Yank, you talk. I'm gonna debrief both of those kind of things, and people are talking. Oh, get him out of here! It was all Jason Tatum's fault, Jalen Brown's fault, this and that. Trade this shit. No, you run it back. Take the whole squad. The only one maybe get a better, younger power forward to help Al Horford out because he is getting up there in age. But I'm gonna start with 100% of the blame, Yank. Jason Tatum in the finals.
oh, okay,
That's
so you are
100%.
going to take okay, good,
No,
cool. All right, let me
it is
hear it.
100%. When you have
Yeah.
100 turnovers in the playoff record, that can't happen. And we were 2 games away from winning an NBA Finals. Um, he had 13 points in the elimination game for a title, an NBA title, and you only scored 13 points. I understand the one game. I think it was game one, 12 points, 13 assists. Bro, you got 13 assists. That's, doubling your points there. That's
And they won. And they won.
and they won that game. But it's embarrassing nonetheless, Yank. You're a bona fide superstar. You're up and coming all-star. You're a top 15, if not top 10 player in the league right now. And it was just tough to see him not almost fold. I mean, if you're trying to relive, not really relive Kobe, but Kobe is your, inspiration. You wear the 2-4 on your band. You text him before games. You need to do better. Now, we've seen him bounce back before. We've seen him play really, really well throughout this playoff series. I mean, he went like 29, 27. And he started to fall, Yank. He really did. But look at this. I'm putting a lot of blame on Jason Tatum. He went 21 and a half points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. That's not that terrible if you're averaging out the finals. I'm going to give you another person. This person averaged 22 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists in their first finals. Guess who that is, Yank?
Jalen Brown.
The second best player of all time, LeBron James.
Oh my
He
God.
averaged that
I
in
thought
his
you were going
first
to make another
finals.
point. Wow. Really?
So
That's a
I mean,
stat.
that is, yes, 100% the stat. So now you have that vengeance inside of you, that bounce back mentality that, wow, I went to the finals and choked. I put up the same stats as LeBron did in his first finals. He's only 24, Yank, around the same age LeBron went to his first finals. Now all we have is up. He has that postseason experience. He has that finals experience. He has that I'm going to do better next year. I'm going to owe it up to my team. I need to have a revenge year. Like, Jason Tatum now is always going to have that over his head, training harder, putting in that extra hour, 2 hours of practice, shooting, etc. The only way is up for JT. And you reference the stats to other people, to other legends, and we're good. So that's your star. Jalen Brown's still going to do his thing. I think he had 34, 7, and 7 in game 6. Like, that's what a number 2 is supposed to do. Like, show out if your star's not going. Game 5, 18, 9, and 4, 21, 6, and 2 in game 4. Like, Jalen Brown can ball. He can play in the postseason. Let him be the number 2. Do not get rid of him. Don't get me wrong, his dribbling, Yank, atrocious in the finals. I thought it was just like left and right, like falling down. But you keep him. He's a scorer. He's a good defender. Now, like I said, run it back. I'm going to talk more about the team, but I'm going to let you intervene here about Jason Tatum and your thoughts on JT.
Jason Tatum is a generational talent. He's fantastic. He's young. He has shown that he's willing to take the responsibility of the team and be that number 1 guy. But I am nervous. I think that he'll be great. Don't get me wrong. I think he's going to show up in the regular season. He's going to do what he needs to do. He's going to hear all this noise all summer. It was JT's fault. It was Jason Tatum's fault. Where was he in the second half? Because for real, where did he go in the second half? He shot under 40% from the field. He did not score. He had multiple games not scoring double digits in the entire second half. I mean, when you're the number 1 superstar on your team going against the Golden State Warriors, who are a prolific offense, you have to score. And I get there were games where he was making plays and you drop the assist numbers. Like, I get all that. But that's not what got them there. What got them there was JT taking over games when he needed to, Jaylen Brown playing an absolutely flawless supportive role, and then the team itself. I mean, Robert Williams, his offensive and defensive rebounding was absolutely insane. Watching him do some of the things he was doing, it completely changed the perspective. I mean, especially the Miami Heat series when we were watching that. But then again, early on in the Golden State series, I mean, I felt really great about Boston when they tied it up 2-2. Like, I mean, everyone felt really good.
Yeah.
It was like tie was starting to shift in their favor. And Jason Tatum disappeared in the second half. And I don't know what that means necessarily for the future because it can only go two ways. I mean, I know you're saying it can only have one way to go, and that's up. But is the stage too big for him? Because he looked like a deer in headlights when we were talking game
Yeah, you
4
can't
through
say
game 6. He looked like a deer in headlights. And this is what brings it up is like you even said the numbers from game 6 when it's a elimination game, you final chance to keep the season alive. He has 13 points. Jaylen Brown has 34, 7, 7. Somebody showed up. And to me, watching that entire series, it felt like that was consistently the case. Jaylen Brown showed up. Jason Tatum disappeared, especially in the second half. And that leaves me cause of concern. Do we have the wrong person as the number one in
No,
Boston?
JT is still the number one. Jaylen Brown is still very good. Jason Tatum facilitates the offense way more. I think his dribbling, his bag, quote unquote, is way better.
But
So,
Marcus Smart's their main ball handler, in my opinion. So, like
oh,
to
he takes
me,
the ball. He is
yeah,
the quote unquote.
yeah. So with me, I think that either one, Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum can go, but I'm gonna go with the guy who showed up. I just
Yeah,
am.
4 games. I mean, the series before that. I mean, I understand you've got to have a 1-2 punch to win an NBA championship. You really do.
You do.
And
You
I
do.
don't think Jaylen Brown's going to be taking over a team like that. I've seen Jason Tatum, the past 2-3 years be that guy. Yeah, one series he didn't do well. Now as extra motivation, so when he shows up to the big dance again next year, we're going to be talking like, yeah, remember when he didn't
I
ball
mean,
out?
if he shuts me up, he shuts me up. I'm just saying, if he now the microscope is on him,
Oh,
big
100%.
time, big time. And I know regular season, everyone will talk about stuff that's going on throughout the regular season. That is not what matters for Jason Tatum anymore in his career. What matters for him is what he can do in the postseason because he has to make up for that. Otherwise, we're all going to have a bad taste in our mouth when it comes to his legacy, the Celtics as a team in general, moving forward for the next few years. Like, this is their window. They can't keep waiting around and getting close. Like, Boston, don't wait for that. So,
And it's not all on one player. You obviously have to have
no,
a
no.
supporting cast. Grandpa Al is what I like to call him, Al Horford. Absolutely electric. He brings the energy. He's a glue guy. He's the vet that's going to get the people going. I've already talked about Robert Williams with my love-hate relationship with the guy. I
Yeah,
love
you do.
center. But once again, I mean, the team just thrived off of his defense. He's blocking shots. He's getting tenacity, getting big boards. And like I said, he earned my respect this whole playoffs. And I want him back next year. I want him to be our starting center because the team truly played better when he was on the court. I already talked about earlier about getting a second guy for Al Horford. We need another power forward. Grant Williams is good, but we can get better. I think that's a big free agent move. We need a number 6, number 7 guy who's going to be that power forward role. That's going to help Al Horford, give Al Horford less minutes. If Robert Williams gets a little lingering injury, boom, that guy can go in. That's kind of what I would love to see because I know Al Horford could also mentor him. Now the other guys, Marcus Smart's DPOY just got his
I'm
jersey.
gonna stick around even like still. Is he still
Al,
gonna keep playing?
I bet you he's got another year in him.
Yeah.
But Marcus Smart, I mean, less flops, and they were trying to complain to the refs too much. And Coach Ume was getting salt. He was pissed. He was like, "Dude, stop complaining about calls. Like, just play basketball." And they try to change the entire game around it. And yeah, too many flops. Like, just play basketball. Marcus Smart didn't necessarily lose the game or he let Steph cook. Da 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 da. Whoever's on Steph Curry is gonna get scored 40 on. Okay,
He's
like
got
doesn't matter.
there's
He crosses half court, and what the Warriors' offense is pick and roll anyway. So it's
right.
really not him. He's getting switched on. Like, oh, hey, you got to switch, or I'm going underneath. Oh, if I go over, So they just make you wrong no matter what. But before I get to my big announcement about the Warriors and someone in particular, I'll let you chime in about some of those role players because I'm about to go on a tangent and I'm about to blow the ceiling off this place.
I actually can't really add to that. I would leave it there. you'd say all the right things. I'm interested to see how long some of those guys, like I said, Big Al, I'm interested to see how long he sticks around. I'm interested to see if they can keep that group together. But I mean, I'm with you. They need somebody else to put them over that edge. And they honestly, I mean, they could have been there this year. They could have been there this year. If Jason Tatum plays his game in games 4 through 6, it could have went 4-2 the other way. It really could have. I mean, I honestly believe that probably like from a physicality and athletic standpoint, the Celtics were the better team. It's just the fact that the Warriors have the mentality and the championship experience and the greatest shooter of all time who did do exactly what he needed to do. I mean, first finals MVP. We haven't talked about anything on the Warriors side really even, but I mean, that what they did was unprecedented. I mean, Stephen Curry, he gets his 4th title, first finals MVP. I mean, we're gonna have to be sitting here talking when we talk NBA in the future. We're gonna be, are the Dubs gonna repeat? It's a
A lot of
question.
people are saying they are, but Yank, the Warriors are incredible. They had the perfect fit together. They have 2 of the top 10 shooters of all time on their squad. They have Draymond Green, who is your defense leader and energy spark like no other. Andrew Wiggins, you remember he was a first-round draft pick, right? He was the face of Minnesota for the past.
Number 1 pick? Number
Yes.
1 pick?
First-round draft pick, sorry.
I thought he was number 1 overall, to be honest.
Yeah, so I mean, either way, super high. He balled out. He finally made his appearance, but he didn't have to drive the bus, Yank. He didn't have to be the face of the franchise. That's Steph Curry. This is his team. Wiggins now can, play off the ball. They aren't really game playing for him as much because if Wiggins drives and you got to double Wiggins because Andrew Wiggins was the best player in Minnesota, now he dishes it to Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, or the baby Splash brother Jordan Poole. It's golden from 3. I mean, that's just 3 guys I named off right there where if you try to game plan solely on Andrew Wiggins, well, you done messed up. So that's why you can't do that. And that's why Andrew Wiggins thrived in this series or with the Warriors in general. And Yank, the 2nd round draft pick 2 years ago, last year, Wiseman was on the bench the entire playoffs. That is scary. Jason Wiseman was a 2nd overall pick. He's going to only benefit the Warriors even more. And the last
listen, talk about that. That's for sure. I mean, I do hear that every time they bring up the Warriors now. It's like, you don't forget, why a lot of people believe Wiseman's going to be something in this league. So
exactly, and they have him just sitting in a box ready to pop open at any time. And the last thing is, there's a lot of talk, a lot of hate on the Warriors, a lot of the media against Draymond Green, and now all they get to do is just celebrate and reciprocate by winning. I love what they did, the whole, thanks, Boston, we had a nice run, kind of gave them a little shade. But of course you get to do that. I am not disrespected at all of how they celebrated or what they said post. You get to, you're the champs. You backed up the talk. And with
Boston's making T-shirts, man. I would have been pulling the Draymond, making my own T-shirt too. I would have made my own T-shirt. There was the one kid that tattooed the 2022 World Champions on his arm for the Celtics. I'd talk a little mess if they were going to come out like that. I mean, they come out strong. You win, you get to tell them off. It is what it is.
I mean, 100%. You get to talk the talk after you win. I mean, I'm nowhere near. And I mean,
Steph Curry now is even saying you got the little clips of him. I mean, getting emotional and doing whatever else, but he's even there. I used to feel weird about saying it, but nah, I'm the best shooter of all time. Even he's coming out and saying stuff now and talking his talk. So it's good to see them want to silence all the haters. They definitely, I know there's a lot of storylines there for everything, whether it's the 4th title, whether it's Steph getting clear of the KD shadow, whatever it is. But there's a lot of positive to talk about the Warriors. My
last positive, my rant, the thing that's going to take the roof off everyone listening to this.
Oh, Jesus.
I haven't announced.
What?
With Steph Curry winning his 4th NBA championship and a finals MVP to add to it, he is now the 3rd best player of all time behind LeBron James and Michael Jordan. He is on the Mount Rushmore. He is the top player of all time, generational of all time. Now, I see your look, Yank. You're looking a little squinty. I don't know why, because this is really not that hot of a take, because let me crunch the numbers for you.
Okay.
NBA, Yank, the goal is to put the basketball into the hoop. if you are behind a certain line, that counts for more points. Who's the greatest 3-point shooter of all time? We've already had that debate. Steph Curry. That is one part of the game, all-around player, all-around scoring, 3-point scoring. Like those are the 3 or 4, best things when it comes to NBA players. Well, Steph Curry's are the best shooters, so we got that already marked off. Okay. Now let's talk about the overall aura of Steph Curry. Kobe Bryant, when we were kids, Kobe shooting in the trash can. People had, MJ probably in the 80s. People a little bit said, oh, LeBron James. Now elementary kids are pulling up from half court. He solely changed the game. We've talked about this so many times on the podcast.
You're not wrong about any of these points.
Shooting, going. Okay, so that's just not even stats. I'm a stats guy too. That's just a straight up eye test. Okay. Finals MVPs. He got robbed when Iggy won it, in my opinion. We already talked about how LeBron put up 34 or whatever.
Technically, LeBron should have won it, but you can't give it to a losing team.
You can't give it to someone who lost. All right, so tell me who should have won this Finals MVP. Person A, 26 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, or 16 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Who should win?
No, I agree. It should have been Curry if it wasn't LeBron, just because. But it's just I guess LeBron was so good that series that they were like, oh, Iggy covered him. So.
All right. So that's another debate.
Which I don't know how that was a testament to Iggy. The man dropped 34 a game.
No, so that should have been Curry's Finals MVP. So he should have 2.
I give you that.
The 2 titles with KD there. KD did ball, but Steph Curry still helped out. He still put up points. He's still part of the team. Still got him there.
Well, the reason that KD became such a focal point was also just the fact that because teams still focused on Steph because it's just a complete game breaker when he gets hot.
Once again, in my favor. Now
it's still not going to be.
Here he won it. 31 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. He was the anonymous Finals MVP. He was the first ever unanimous MVP, regular season MVP.
Mm-hmm.
And he's had 2 MVPs, 8 All-Stars, 2-time scoring champ. He's in the 50-40-90 club, so that's 50% from the field, 40% from 3, 90 from free throw.
He's the best free throw shooter of all time, actually.
The steal leader. So if you want to credit his defense, he was the steal leader in 2016. So that just adds to his credibility to be on the Mount Rushmore. That was in 2016. And just to put a little flaunt in it, a 2-time 3-point champion. We already know that, but now he has the title. If LeBron did the dunk contest or Zion, they'd probably win. So he also is a part of 7 big NBA records, like threes made or wins or consecutive threes in games, 30, 20 games for points, etc. like that. So that's a pretty thing. You got to have records along with it as well. But Yank, I know I went on a tangent here because I just want to back up my point. Shoot, I could go on and on. I've already been going 5-10 minutes, Yank. What else do you have to say? You love him. He's an awesome person off the court and on. He's only 34. He's had a good, dare I say it, 6 years.
Don't say only 34. Come on. Not many people are really great after that age, but he'll be an exception, obviously. But
he will because he just moves off the ball. He can.
No, I'm saying he's gonna play well until he's high 30s minimum. But I'm just only 34. 34 is old in the league now. 34 is old.
Yeah, but I will debate with anyone to tell Steph Curry is top 3. I will give you 4 or 5, but he's definitely a top 5.
I'll give you. I could give you top 5.
I'm saying 3 just
because I really think I could maybe we could talk about 5th maybe right now. Top 10 for sure. I believe that just because, like you said, changed the game. Now he's got the 4th title, the MVP under his belt to just kind of. Now he's got no cracks now, and everything's sealed tight. He's got it on lock. We know it, best shooter of all time, great leader, charisma on and off the court. We get all that. None of your points are invalid, but you have to take into account the other people too.
Oh, I did. I had to kick out Tim Duncan. That sucks, Mr. Fundamental.
You have Tim Duncan in the top 3?
11. I'm saying he was 10.
Well, top 10, yeah. We can start talking about stuff, but I could look at that. I could look at that as well as a possibility.
I got a whole list. It's nice. Yeah. Pretty in my notes.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I would agree with some of those takes for sure. But to put him, obviously we got MJ, we got LeBron. Those are your top 2 either way, give or take, whatever anyone wants to argue. But you got Kobe.
Better than Kobe. Yes. Yeah, he got the 81 game. Yeah, he got this and that, but better shooter. He is a better shooter. than
Yeah,
Kobe.
being a better shooter doesn't like come with all the
I would say
like
better defender.
Mamba mentality, the intangibles with that. Kobe, a 5-time champ. Like there's still other things to go in,
Steph's
and
had a
then
chance to win
there's
5.
Kareem. There's Kareem with all of his records and just the absolute how many
He
titles
was a
does he have?
longevity player. He was kind of like
Yeah, like
LeBron.
longevity player. But just the like people need to start taking that into account more though too. Like to be that good for that long is
Oh,
just
it's
the
definitely part of
consistency is
your
just
legacy.
the consistency is just crazy. But you got those people that because like some people, some of the especially the old heads will talk about him being the best player of all time. But I get like I understand your arguments. There's not really anything that I have against any of your arguments. It's just like there's bodies of work that we still haven't seen what Steph has done to finish his career. Like so
Just add to it. I
no, and I
mean,
get that. And he just might. He goes out and wins another title. Like people because I don't know. Am I ready to put him above Magic yet?
yes.
I don't know. As a better shooter, as a scorer, that's fine. But also, you got to remember the position he plays. He's a point guard. Point guard is supposed to create plays for all your teammates. I'm not saying Steph doesn't. I'm not saying Steph doesn't. But he does not pass the ball or assist the ball the same way that a Magic Johnson did, or even like a LeBron or some of the greatest passers of all time did. He creates opportunities for his teammates by being so damn good at shooting the ball.
And his overall court vision. I mean,
and his not honestly, it's his core hustle. That man does not stop moving, and he's possibly the most conditioned player in the entire NBA, even at 34 years old. So there's nothing negative for me to say. It's just too early to have that conversation in my opinion.
I'm cementing.
I just think it is. I just think it is just simply off of the body where we're like LeBron's still going, but we all know him and MJ are going to be 1-2. Kareem, Magic, Kobe. I'll give you top 7, but I'm going to wait to see what else he does because I mean, he said they're on the Cleveland, like they're on the Miami Cleveland train where LeBron went to about 10 straight finals or had that many finals appearances in a span of 10 years. Warriors very well could do it again. They keep doing this, especially with them getting older in it. I mean, it's I've used the word a few times today, but unprecedented. Unprecedented. And everything that is attached to Steph Curry in a way is unprecedented. You're not wrong when you say you changed the game, the culture. There is kids pulling up from 50. There is us like walking around like Kobe doesn't exist as much as Curry does now for the kids. Like I get all that. The stats talk, the trophies, but there's just other bodies. There's just other bodies of work that you have to appreciate.
Talk yourself into it.
There's other, yeah, but you can say the same thing for every other name I brought up. Kareem, more titles, more like scoring champ ever. Magic Johnson, most assists outside of John Stockton, like best point guard, like at least court vision wise of all time. Showtime Lakers, he's got what, 5 titles? He's got 5. LeBron's got 4. He's been to 10. MJ's MJ. Like, I don't know if we can put him against that. Yeah, Kobe's got 5. Kobe's Mamba mentality. All the stories, all the leadership, all the stuff that comes with him, like the extra stuff on and off the court. Everyone's got a Kobe story. Literally everybody got a story about, oh yeah, we said it was going to be a competition first one to get out in the gym or get a workout in. We come down at 3 a.m. and Kobe's sitting there eating food already finished to practice. Like, bro, that's next level. That's different too. And Steph is going to have his own versions of that we all talk about. We have already. I'm going to wait to put him in. Obviously, I see you haven't, but I'm going to wait to put him in a top 3. Top 3.
Watch season 5 of the Mickey Zizzy podcast. Be like, all right, Mickey, you were right.
Season 5, I'll be like, God, this man called it 2 years ago.
No, I mean, obviously, the finals, I mean, when you don't win, it sucks. But the promise, like I said, is here. I mean, I believe in them. I mean, this rock stays forever, the ECF champs. But other big news, I mean, the NBA kind of like finally finished its season. No, it didn't. We had the draft. We got free agency. And now we just had the draft. So Yank, the NBA draft. What's one of your biggest takeaways here? First, once again, shout out Pinnacle Supplementation. Go reach your pinnacle. We like to try to do those in between our segments here. And then go check out the OBL on any social media platform. I mean, pretty legit, our sponsors, and how much support they give us and how much support we give them. But Yank, throwing it back to you, that NBA draft. Here we go.
Things. First one is the first pick of the draft was the wrong pick of the draft. I'm sorry. I don't believe that it was the right pick at all.
I agree.
I think that the Magic continue to show why they're the Orlando Magic, and they don't and they will just never win again. Paolo Banchero, I'm not saying that he's a bad player. He's great. He had a great final showing against North Carolina in the end of the tournament. I mean, I think he dropped like 20 and 10 to try and keep their chances alive in that elimination game. But I feel like there's just so much. There's other names that just bring more to the table because we talk like when effort starts to become a question in somebody's daily ins and outs, and like you're going to be a professional athlete. I should never question your effort. You should be leading in second effort. You should be the leader of your team when it comes to showing that type of stuff. And for you to have those questions from NBA scouts, that worries me. Like to show that you only play defense in specific spots on the floor or specific occasions on the floor bothers me. I don't know if it's because they call me Tony Allen at the local LA Fitness out here, but I just like defense is you gotta play it. You gotta play defense, man. So just that all that bothers me, and that was just off rip. That's the first thing I had.
No, I agree with you. That was the wrong pick in my eyes. Obviously, you have the guy who I'm going to be boosting up, Chet, who went right after him. But I mean, let's just look at him. What, he's a forward, right? Small forward.
Yep.
I mean, depends where they're going to put him and whatnot. So, I mean, you look at your small forwards here and like your power forwards. I mean, they got Wendell Carter Jr.
I think it's a power forward, but
yeah. So Wendell Carter Jr. Okay, Bobo and Mo Bamba. I know they're both centers, but like they're going to be playing a power forward, and they're pretty big guys. So I just really don't see where he's going to fit in. They got Franz Wagner from last year at small forward, which he might play over him. I kind of get it, but I think there's just better players than him. I totally agree with you, the whole hustle standpoint and whatnot, but they must see something that we don't see. I think it was the wrong decision as well.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I just like effort should never be a question. Playing both sides of the ball should never be a question, especially when you're in college. Like, obviously, we see superstars develop in the league to where, okay, like some of them are just one-way players or they specialize in this. Like, your role when you get to an NBA team. It is what it is. But I have a lot of questions with the number one pick. So we'll see what happens moving forward. Magic. I know I don't expect much from you. I'm sorry. But yeah, let's talk about your guy, Chet Holmgren. I mean, the number 2 pick going to OKC. We're talking the young squad, the young core, though. You got this man coming in who biggest concern is going to be his weight and size.
Bogus, absolute.
He's got to put something on. He has to. And I think he will. They're going to have nutritionists, workout programs. He's in the league now. Like, you're number 2 pick in the league, your lottery. They're going to treat you accordingly. They're going to make sure you do what you got to do. I mean, Zion Williamson has obviously figured out his diet out in Louisiana because that boy is looking ready to come back and play. So people can figure out the whole eating habits, whatever else, but he's got to put on that weight. Outside of that, the man is 6'10", 6'11", if not taller. He's got the length, 7-footer. He's got the wingspan. The thing with him, he can shoot for a big man, for a tall man. And that is just so dangerous. I mean, he kind of reminds me of a way. He's got that Kristaps Porzingis look from an athletic skill point. He's got great footwork, kind of like a big Joel Embiid. But then when he steps out, he's got a lethal jumper. The question to me is just if he fills out his size and gets a little bit more of a backbone to him and can deal with some of these guys that are going to post him down, this guy is going to be great. And they're surrounding him with a young, talented Josh Giddey and a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, like SGA. Like, okay, see, Sam Presti, talk to him.
Yank, I'm calling out people here on the podcast.
Woohoo!
I know
Oh,
you're wrong. Nick Bevins, who was the Magic fan I talked to about the first round draft pick, said Chet's gonna be a bust. Not good.
ooh,
You
that's
said the
jealousy.
thing
That's what I hear.
you said the thing that irritates me the most. Gotta put on more weight. Well, no,
He
no.
does.
Yep. You know who else had to? Giannis
Kevin
Antetokounmpo.
Durant and Giannis. I know.
Yank. Giannis came in at 6'10", 196 pounds. Chet's coming in at 7 foot, 190 pounds. It can happen. All right. He's still a kid. He's
I'm not saying it can't. I just said it has to.
And Yank, see, that's the also thing. I look at that comparison. One of the two-time NBA, he's a champion and two-time MVP, Giannis. I mean, that's the kind of frame I'm looking at with Chet. His shooting is already better than Giannis. His shooting is very good. His dribble moves is scary. That's why he got highlighted in high school. Was his dribble moves? Everyone's like, this 7-foot center, 6'10" kid when he was in high school got awesome dribble moves. Watching it going. All right. This league is not a bully league anymore, Yank. We're not posting around like Shaquille O'Neal going up and dunking on people.
Did you watch your Celtics play all playoffs? They are physical as hell. They are physical in the playoffs.
Not moving bodies that much. Chet's length is still so good. He averaged like 4 blocks. He was getting 4 blocks a game like no other.
He better against in college. Yeah, he better. He's the number 2 pick. He's 7 foot.
Yeah, I mean that just adds.
Go block.
Good. All right. And people are acting like he's going to fall right over. He's going to break like a twig. He can hang with the best of them. Steph Curry still can body up people and get in there with his muscle and whatnot. Obviously, he's got to put on weight. I mean, but for him to not be discredited as a number 2 and not number 1 overall player is blasphemous in my eyes. I'll
agree with your argument of maybe a draft pick choice. He could have been the number 1 pick, and I would have been more than happy with that. I just said everything good about this guy. His shot is crazy. The length is there. He can handle the ball. He's got great footwork. Everything's there. But you will get bullied at some point in this league if you do not put something on.
Everyone does. No one. Okay. When was the last time you saw someone actually?
You got me. Okay.
Zion still. I mean, he was putting up good numbers. He can't stay healthy because he gets bullied down there and can't stay healthy. I'm just looking at it. Yeah,
we have just seen we have some of our big guys, superstars, that have been injury riddled.
And if it's really that big of a problem, put it at power forward.
I mean, Joel Embiid just had his first fully healthy season this year, first one ever. And yeah, he balled out. But I'm just saying, he's been in the league a while. For him to just have it, that's a concern. Kristaps Porzingis, when is he ever healthy? And we're comparing his game to that. When is he ever healthy? He's never healthy. Giannis is just a freak of nature. It is what it is. But a lot of these big men have the injury issues. They've got this it's just something to think about and put out there. I'm not saying he ain't gonna be a great talent. I think the guy is gonna be a stud, especially with that young core is exciting, man. Oklahoma City is gonna be pretty damn good. But
2 years.
Yeah, I think they'll be competitive this year and the next, but like you said, give them a couple more seasons. Let's see if we can make a trade. Oklahoma City just doesn't have city appeal. That's their problem. They don't have star.
The big 3 left.
Yeah, they don't have a star market really. But yeah, no, I think he's going to be great. I hope that we see that, or at least that start trending in the right direction. Because if he does that, I have nothing negative to say about it. Literally nothing negative to say.
Chet's going to be Rookie of the Year. That Chet Holmgren slander is no more. I'm calling y'all out. I will debate it still today. But let's move on to that third pick because it really was a 3-man race for that first-round draft pick. Jabari Smith. I think the Rockets still got a steal. I mean, he was the pound for pound, one of the best players coming out of this draft from Auburn. And he just shows, great intensity. He's a well put together body. I could see him starting easily for the Rockets. And I think for the Rockets, what they're trying to build over there as well. I know John Wall is thinking about going to the Clippers, so they're going to free up cap room.
Oh, that's official. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. So it's going to be a destination for a superstar to come and help him out. And, he's an athlete. He's going to go get his. He's going to be in contention for Rookie of the Year, and there's a reason why it's a 3-man race. And I think the Rockets, of course they're going to get it. Whoever they got at number 3 was going to be okay. And in some people's eyes, a lot of experts' eyes, Jabari Smith was the number one. So I think, the Rockets obviously can't lose in the situation they were drafted with.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like he would have been the number 1 or 2 pick if they had performed better as a team in the tournament. I think that everyone just got a bad taste in their mouth from that last tournament game. I mean, they fell apart against Miami, and the man shot 1 for 8 or something in that game. Like he just did not have a great game. I think he was like 2 of 8 total, and like 1 of 8 from, or 1 of 7 or something from 3. It was something along those lines. But the guy is athletic. The guy can play. He played for an SEC team that plays a ridiculously tough schedule. I mean, he played a very grueling 34-game schedule with Auburn Tigers, and then went into the tournament and played some of the hottest teams up until their loss against Miami. I mean, and Miami went on that incredible run. Nobody could beat them. I don't think there's really anything bad to take away from him. I think the athleticism is there. I think he's a pretty solid shooter. I mean, when you're shooting 45% from the field, you're making about half your shots, man. You're a certified bucket walking around out here. So I feel good about his chances. I think he just got hurt by that last tournament game. I think he'll be fine. And who did he get drafted by? It was the Rockets. So yeah. So I mean, is he going anywhere that's going to do anything? Probably not, but it is what it is. Well, I mean, he'll be a great player, and he'll be in consideration for the Rookie of the Year.
I mean, you just kind of going into the next pick. I know I just want to probably talk the next 5 and then highlight those NBA players that I talked about. But talk about it going to a team that really has no promise, and I hate to say it. My man Keegan Murray.
I know, man.
I was talking with a lot of people. I'm like, Keegan Murray can go anywhere. Go link up with Luka and Detroit. If fall to the Pacers, they might make a play-in tournament, kind of run. But the Kings and what they're trying to do, I mean, they're not going to get any big superstars. Keegan Murray's going to start. He's going to play. He's going to get stats. I mean, he is maybe a different team, like a 6/starter. I mean, he's a 6-man. I mean, coming right out of the draft. But it hurts. I mean, the Kings, in my eyes, really have no promise. And I have no room to talk. I ain't no NBA analyst expert, but, like, they haven't been to the playoffs in how many years? Or haven't won a playoff series in how many years? I forget the exact
decade plus.
Decade plus. Yeah. And Keegan Murray is going to be your, shining knight in shining armor. I hope so. That'd be pretty rad. But
I mean, he's the highest draft pick in Iowa basketball team history.
So that's awesome. Don't get me wrong.
Which is amazing. Awesome. Yeah, which is amazing. Credit to him for that. I mean, he led the nation in win shares. He ranked 4th in scoring. He was a driving force for them that whole March run. I mean, his timely shots down the stretch against some of those close games before the tournament started. I mean, he looked confident, as like absolutely unwavered confidence when he was shooting the ball and letting that stuff go. So he's going to be an incredible talent, but it is just one of those like, God dang, like if anyone was to get shown on camera as they get their name called out on the draft, like, and they hit the little gee, like just upset, that would be probably Keegan right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's really all I got to say about that one. And then the next one was Jaden Ivey. I know, like, there's projections of him going and him going to the Pistons with him and Cade Cunningham running the show over there. They got Luka coming off the bench. I mean, they're another young squad. I mean, these top 4 teams are all young, and what they might make.
Well, they're top 5 pick teams for a reason. I mean, they're not like nobody usually is in the lottery as much if they're like a good team. So.
Yes, I don't think Ivy will necessarily change much, but he's going to be a nice addition. He's going to be real nice. He's going to get his.
Well, I actually think that out of like the top 10 picks, he's probably the like best pickup as far as like just availability wise and like what he can bring to the table. And like you said, the young core of who they're going to pair him with. They're going to pair him with Cade Cunningham, who I think is going to develop and continue to bud as a player and do well. And then some of their other younger guys coming off the bench. I think that it's a great pickup. I think it's a great fit, and I'll be very interested to see what Jaden Ivey can do. I like those names too. I love when people got cool names like Ivy, baby. Oh, you gonna leave something.
I mean, you go to the Pacers, they got Benedict from Arizona. I loved watching him in the tournament. He was a baller. The sharp kid from Kentucky, though, from the Blazers. Didn't he not play a game?
Yes, actually, and that is a crazy story that like I didn't
Yeah.
even think about until I think I saw it a couple days ago. But like, you didn't play a game and
A
you
game.
got picked 7th overall.
From
There's
that's
something
crazy to me.
there's something to be said about that. I
I
don't
think it's
know,
a bad pick.
like I couldn't tell you what it is or who he's from or what it is, but yeah,
Not in the dark.
that's
That's like,
impressive.
that's gonna be
That's
one of those.
impressive. Like you must have did some crazy stuff at those workouts. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they must have shined super hard. I mean, I know he was up there in the draft board anyway, like top 15, top 10, but definitely went too soon there, in my opinion. I mean, another one I just want to talk the Hornets. I got to talk LaMelo Ball, big baller brand. They went and got Mark Williams. They got to get Plumlee out of the starting lineup. I'm sorry, but Mark Williams is going to come in, start, in my opinion. He should from Duke. He's a strong, thick kind of guy. Going to be a defensive staple there for him. So I think that's what the Hornets needed. They drafted really well. And then your pick. I mean, talk about it, Yank. You got to be excited.
Nikola Jovic? You mean like Jokic? Like Jokic, baby Jokic? It's baby Jokic out here. I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw that, and I know you texted me too right afterwards. You were like, "I know you like that pick. You like that pick. The Serbian Wonder." Of course, I like that pick. The mega Mozart coming straight off the press. That's amazing. But I mean, that's a big man, size, footwork, can shoot. I saw him pulling the little Luka Nia bucket with the fadeaways. I mean, I didn't know much about this guy. Obviously, we had a pick in the high 20s. I wasn't really paying attention much to what Miami did in the draft, more so what we do in free agency, but love the pick, especially love the potential of that. And for him to have the name he has, like you got to be good, right? If you have that name. Like
Just alone.
Jokic is a 2-time MVP, you got to be good now.
No, I texted you. I'm like, there's one team I don't want Miami to draft, and it's yo bitch. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want him to get it because it's going to be great for you.
Oh,
He is a Miami hustler. He is heat
oh my
culture.
God,
He's gonna be
100%.
from Serbia.
Have you
already
watched
know.
Have you watched the new Hustle movie?
Hustle, dude. I
Yeah.
watched it the day it came out. I love Adam Sandler. I think he's a
Oh
top
my God.
5 actor of all time. So
100%. And
that's another.
but that movie was
Dude.
great. But he reminds me when I was just watching the highlights. He reminds me of the cruise missile. He reminds me of it. Yeah, the cruise missile, baby.
No, 100% Yank. It's scary. I don't like it. He's gonna be a role player for you. Shoot, he might start a few games if an injury happens or two. Like,
Yeah,
I think
mean
he'll
He'll be coming into
European
literally.
is gonna play and give you good minutes. I mean, it's scary. I hate that y'all got him. I think it's a huge pickup for Miami, especially at the position like you said in the 20s for a draft pick. You necessarily can't go wrong with it. You're gonna sell jerseys. You're gonna get a bunch more people watching your games.
I mean, he's going to be in the second rotation with Tyler Hero immediately. So I
Oh,
mean, it's going to
easy.
be great to see. And I mean, that's another thing. You look at what are the Heat going to make off-season moves? We don't know, but I mean, Hero was hurt in that ECF. You never know because he's such a big spark plug for our second unit. You get this guy on there.
Oof.
I love what we were doing. If Jimmy Butler continues to be Jimmy Butler, God, we look good, man.
Oh yeah, Yank. I mean, now the NBA draft, we talk about the bigger players. Obviously that's what we do here. Also, would be here all night talking about all the players.
Right. Like Johnny Davis was a big one too. I just wish he didn't go to Washington, but that was I
Bradley
wish he
Beal,
didn't.
though.
Yeah,
That would be nice.
yeah, but I don't know. We saw Bradley Beal when John Wall was John Wall.
I think John Wall has been hurt the past. You saw that one stat. He's played a total of 42 games the past 3 years, and he's getting 39 mil, 40 mil, 42 mil. Like,
Oh, his payment is ridiculous, but at the same time, I mean, when you play the system and you time it right, when you sign that deal, that dotted line looks good.
oh yeah,
I don't know. That's going to be another thing. Just breaking news from today: John Wall going to the Clippers. If he is anything, though, anything close to resembling what he used to be, they got a song about him, man. The John Wall, like, come on. If he's anything close to that, the Clippers are going to win the championship, man. Like they are the deepest team in the league. Everyone wants to forget about Kawhi Leonard. He's gonna come back with a vengeance. They're gonna be good, man. Paul George, they're gonna be good, man. Reggie Jackson, bro, they're so good.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of our draft recap there. Once again, to everyone who is listening, we thank you. We're getting bigger and better. We're getting all of our podcasts out there. Don't forget to subscribe to that YouTube channel, or just give us some love on the social medias.
Zizzy channel, baby. Got it.
Right. Oh yeah. Any other last hot takes? I was throwing straight fire this episode, so I mean,
honestly, like I felt like my hottest take would have been like I truly got a feeling or a glimpse or whatever it was to where it was that I feel like Jaylen Brown is the guy in Boston. And it's just take it where you leave. I mean, they're both great, but that's just my vibe and my take when it comes to the Celtics right now. I was saying it all finals because I mean when it comes down to it, that's the biggest stage, and that man showed up. Jason Tatum disappeared. That's all I'm gonna say.
We will see for another day, but that's kind of, I mean, we're getting into some other big things, Yank. I just handed the plaque to Chandler Sims for winning the fantasy football. Go check that out on Twitter.
Did see that.
I got to get the interview of the year. We're going to get that shipped out to Bo here soon, but bigger and better as always, and be on the lookout for all of our fun. I mean, football season is when we do a lot of our fan things, so definitely be on the lookout.
Absolutely. I mean, I know I still I've got the vitamins and extra supplements for Ray. I have not seen him in the past month, so I just moved closer, so I'll see him, and then we'll get those pictures up as well. But absolutely, man, just happy to have everyone be a part of it. Happy to see this kind of start to elevate. Next is to get me the setup with the desk and the mic and everything else. Y'all see this man over here? Y'all see this?
Hey.
Okay.
Shout out to Toner, our unofficial sponsor of
unofficial sponsors. I like it. Never know what's in the making here. But good. Wrap it up. If you're talking sports, this is the matchup. Mickey here with Zizzy. Yeah, we cutting it up. Just a couple athletic enthusiasts. You know what it is. The Mickey Zizzy podcast. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.